Welcome to Fall into the Vortex with Yoli, where we talk about all things love. Fall into the vortex with Yoli. Fall into the vortex.
Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in again to Fall into the Vortex with Yoli. I am excited because of who's with me today, all the way from South Africa. Cesar, tell us who you are. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, Sister Yoli. Thank you for having me. My name is Cesar Francia. My pronouns are he, him, his. This is an amazing opportunity to chat with you and to share with you. I'm an Afro-Latino from Venezuela, living in the US, but riding out the COVID-19 pandemic from Cape Town. Quit my corporate job of 6 years to explore a career in creativity and in songwriting and singing. And I've been writing, I've been exploring, I've been healing, I've been reading, I've been sleeping, and I'm just so ready to engage and to share with you how your poems have been helping in my healing.
Thank you so much. And I want to say congratulations to you. As someone who spent 13 years in corporate, it is a very, very, how do I say, the transition can be very curt, it can be very sharp. And I remember when I left corporate and went into teaching, it took me some while to adjust. But I'm so grateful that I left. I believe I've added some years to my life. I've certainly added a different perspective to my life instead of chasing the money and the way that I was taught to do in corporate. So I just want to say congratulations to you. And we're going to talk some more, right, about this amazing decision that you made to not just leave your corporate job, but to leave the country, right? And to be in South Africa riding out the COVID. So please, I want us to talk some more about that. I know it will flow. But for now, I want to turn to the book, if we can, to Fall into the Vortex, right? Well, Love from the Vortex. And just have you share. I'm forever the teacher, so please let me and the audience know what page you're on, and we'll read along with you. I'm so excited to hear your voice on my poems. Thank you.
So because I am in South Africa, I was not able to get the physical book.
Right.
Thanks for digital everything. So I'm not sure which page it is, but it's from Joseph.
Okay, but wait. We have to stop for a moment. You know what? I'm forgetting myself, Cesar. I need you to share something about yourself and from your creativity. So for those of you who might just be tuning in, you know the format of the show is that before we even get to the poems, I ask each guest to share something that they're working on or to share something creatively. So forgive me for almost forgetting, but can we just roll back a little bit and just spend some time listening to what you choose to share with us?
Yes, absolutely. So today is one of my best friend's birthdays. Their name is Live, and I wrote a song for Live a few months ago. I've been here to thank Live for inspiring me, for fueling my creative juices, for co-creating with me. And the song is called Kaleidoscopic Life. And what I'm going to read is just a small snippet of a poem that's in the heart of the song. And it expresses to me how I feel about words, how I feel about poetry, how I feel about the power of friendship to heal us.
I can't wait.
Poetry, yes, let's try. Poetry is my liturgy, blessed, the ability to write my own story, holy, the privilege to see my curiosities through. Your art is your shield, is your gift, is your art.
You know what, I just want to sit for a moment and just listen, play it back in my mind, the way that you use those words. poetry, art, gift, art. And I do want to share that I know that you are a gifted artist. I've been blessed for you to share some of the songs that you've written, a beautiful song and video that you wrote for for Tu Madre. And can you say a little bit about the songwriting? What is that doing for you, particularly right now during COVID? And what does it do for you when you're writing songs for people you love, like for life and for Tu Madre? Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So songwriting started for me a year ago, July 23rd, 2019. I wrote my first song. And it happened, my birthday was July 15th, and I decided to make some adjustments in my life after my birthday. I decided to stop drinking alcohol, and I decided to eat a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
And those two things opened up a lot of creativity. I started hearing my body tell me things. Messages started coming. Songs, melodies, fully formed ideas started coming to me. And it felt as though my body was communicating something powerful. So I started listening, and I started writing these songs that were just flowing through my body, right? And I started like hearing my voice a little better. I didn't sing in public before. I didn't call myself a singer before. I didn't feel creative. I told myself I wasn't creative. And so that's why what I just wrote, I said, blessed is the ability to write my own story. I'm rewriting the story. I told myself I wasn't creative. That wasn't true. So I am rewriting.
Why did you tell yourself that? Why would you not give yourself permission to at least explore the possibility of being creative? That seems so definitive, you know?
Absolutely. I think early on, I decided that I wanted people to respect my brain. And when I made that decision, I also said, subconsciously, art is not how you show your brain. You show your brain through, a career in law. So I decided to go to law school because that way I would be respected. That way I would be appreciated for my brain capacity. But my art has always been there. And now it's just no longer wanting to be trapped anymore.
Wow. I'm just thinking about those who are listening who will come across this, and they too know that there's an artist inside of them and may be restricted by, some of the responsibilities that tend to handcuff us, or at least we believe handcuffs us, of the work, the fast pace, families to take care of. I mean, we all have responsibilities, those of us with children and without children, those of us as only children and those with siblings. I mean, the tapestry of our lives are complicated regardless, right, of who's in our lives. But we do find ways of convincing ourselves to not do that we are not that. And so I just hope and pray that someone who hears this, and there's that little tiny voice inside of you that says, yes, you're a poet, you're a songwriter, you're a dancer, that they will sit and fellowship with that voice and let that voice come out. So I can't thank you enough for sharing that. Oh my gosh. Anything you're working on now? Any song, anything you'd like to sing right now before we get into the book?
Sure. I'm going to sing the beginning of that song, Kaleidoscopic Life, in honor of my friend Life's birthday.
Happy birthday, Life. Happy birthday. Happy born day.
It's not interdependency. It's a visioning together out loud. Call it synchronicity. When another soul says yours, they come alive. Shine brighter, life. Together we are strong. Kaleidoscopic life.
Oh, Cesar. Oh, Cesar, that touched me so much. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you for allowing me to do it.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I want to hear you sing some more is what, if I'm gonna keep it real. That's what I really want. But what will be beautiful is, if you don't mind, we'll put a link to one
Yes.
of your songs and your videos
Absolutely.
so that
Absolutely.
people can learn more about who you are as a singer-songwriter. And we can turn to the book when you're ready. And I think you said Joseph, so let's go to Joseph.
Let's go to Joseph. And the poem that just sort of shook me was Mercury Rising.
What page is that, so I can turn to that? Oh, you don't have, you have the ebook. Forgive me. So for those of you who have the text, it's on page 11 and the first chapter, which is Joseph.
11 in the printed version, my sacred number.
Is that right? Well, you know what? So is mine, because 11:11. I've been
Correct.
seeing 11:11 for over a decade, and I see 111 and 11:11.
See it all the time, every day, all day.
So do I.
So,
Okay.
so I've been doing a little digging, and it's a sacred number. I don't know enough to discuss it, other than to say that it fills me with joy when I see it, and the fact that you see it as well needs no explanation. I mean, there's a reason. Oh, okay, Mercury rising, everybody.
Here we go.
All right.
I'm listening.
There is no necessity, requirement, or built-in agreement that our alignment be more than friendship. And though the heat that rises within me whenever I see you would send the mercury rising, I am content to hold your hand, share a bottle of wine over a conversation that bring both comfort and joy, simply because it promises the presence of you. Woo, shivers, right? Personally, how many souls have I not fallen in love with, whom I will not marry, but whose presence is everything? And how many more will come, right? The more we open to the love, the more we'll fall in love with people over and over again, because that is the power of love.
Yes, Cesar, yes. That's the Libra cycle of love. I mean, that's what I call it. That's the Yoli's understanding of love. I love myself enough to want to share myself with the person who will see me for who I am in all of my fullness, as I understand who myself to be in the moment. And so, yes, love is a powerful, beautiful force. And there will be, as I even think about the lovers in the book who are no longer in my life in this way, but will always be with me. And the lessons that I learned about myself and about them and about love, it's a beautiful thing.
100%. And I feel the lessons of that my lovers gave me, healing me every day. I understand why the relationships didn't work today. And I understand what they were trying to communicate to me, when they were trying to teach me now. And I thank those lessons. They were painful at times. They were, problematic at times. But in hindsight, I needed those building blocks, because now I am a better lover, period. I'm a better lover.
Wow. So Cesar, for the sake of those folks who are tuning in, because I will tell you that my hope for this this project that I'm doing is healing. The writing of Love from the Vortex healed me and freed me. It continues to heal me every time I engage in conversation or get a voice memo or a text from someone. So for the sake of those who are listening, without revealing names, of course, because names are not important, but can you reflect on one of those past lovers and give us specifically what you learned from that relationship and how you connected to being a better lover now today?
Hmm. Wow, how to pick from three amazing relationships that taught me so much, each one so differently, so such a different thing. Oof. I'm gonna start with the first one, the first person I ever fell in love with.
Mm-hmm.
Taught me so much about what it means to love, what it means to show up for the person you love, what it means to be committed, what it means to be passionate, what it means to truly put down the roots of a family. This person wanted a family so badly together that they dragged me along to teach me this is what needs to happen now such that we can have that future together, and as I show up to my potential future relationship, I know now what it takes, the
What does it
work.
take? Cesar, what does it take?
You got to give it all. Why not? You gotta give it all. And everything I do, I give my entire heart to, right? That's why, I think God and the universe gives me opportunities because I just grab them and I just give my entire heart to them. But with love, I wasn't given my full self. There was some protection that was happening. And
Why?
love,
Why?
that's a great question. I think it comes from not having fully felt love from a father figure
Mm.
and seeking that validation or that love in a romantic figure sometimes
Mm.
happens, especially for people like me who identify as queer or gay.
Mm.
Um, we put a lot of our aspirations for the love that we didn't receive from our fathers onto our partners.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And so
Mm.
there's also that resentment, that there's that heartbreak underneath it that didn't let me surrender to loving fully because I was not healed from my father's, absence.
Yes. Oh, Cesar. Wow. Wow. You know, um, I finished an episode a couple of days ago with two amazing educators, and
Yeah.
both of them, this is Leo and Moza, and the way the conversation evolved is that they both talked about, very similar to what you just shared, the absence of their fathers. One Leo lost his father early, and Moza's father was not in Moza's life in the way that she hoped, right? And so I'm just making this connection of relationships we have with our mothers or fathers, or relationships we don't have with our mothers and our fathers. And we know there's plenty of psychology that's written about it, but it is real that we are often looking for that love that we did not have, or trying to perfect that love in some kind of way. Is that fair to the partner, is my question.
I don't think so because they'll never be able to fill that void that absence created, right?
Mm.
But even the partners that I was choosing were similar to my dad, Black men of a similar height and a
Wow.
similar, things like that now I realize I was doing because I wanted that void to be filled so badly.
This is a word right here, Cesar. I don't even know where to go at this point. I just want to listen to whatever is about to come out of your heart, whatever is about to come out of your mouth, because that alone, what you shared, I pray that it offers healing to someone who hears this. It was so profound in the way that you shared that. And it makes me also think about my relationship with my father. I was the youngest of at least three that I grew up with. My father had multiple children. And I think being the youngest, I had less to remember and probably benefited to have a more positive relationship with my father, although it was not perfect by any means, than my brother or sister. By the time I came along, perhaps he had gotten a little bit better. Um, And it's making me think about the lovers in the book, and specifically my husband of 26 years, Angel, how my relationship at the beginning played out with him so much of what I saw between my mother and father. And I wasn't conscious to it until many years later. And so there's so many of us, I think, in relationships, we're not even fully conscious, which is why for me that self-work is so important. Before I enter into another relationship, I needed to understand so much more about myself.
Yes.
So that's not a question. I'm just responding. I don't know. What are you thinking now?
And that links very well with, you know, becoming a better lover, right? Doing the healing work with my father will inevitably mean that when I show up again, I'm ready to fully love, because not only have I been able to work through loving my father after 10 years of not speaking to him, a decade of not speaking to him and having this tension between us because of his lack of acceptance of my queerness. But not only have I been able to, through hard work, therapy, meditation, reading, writing, songwriting as a form of therapy.
Yes.
And writing him a song.
I was about to ask you.
Writing him a beautiful song called Criatura Divina, divine creature. I am the divine creature that he engendered, and that means life is great. Embrace me. And this is my sort of being vulnerable and naked to him, telling him, I want to be loved by you, and I love you. So that work has been powerful and important for me, but then the work of loving myself enough such that whether my father comes around or not, I'm still good.
Yes.
I can only wish that he takes my invitation to love me. But should he not, what's left? Myself, my own self-love. And that fostering that relationship with myself has even been more powerful.
And tell us, how has South Africa, your physical space now, how has that added to your self-love journey?
So I've been drawn to Africa for a while. As a child, my dream, I was born and raised in Venezuela, and my imagination, my dreams were about traveling the world. Were about going to Africa, like where do we come from? Like exploring that lineage, that heritage. And I was fortunate to spend 4 months in Rwanda back in college. And while in Rwanda, I traveled around East Africa, Burundi, Tanzania, Zanzibar. And then I decided to go west. I wanted to see, some of the digging I was doing said that most of us that landed in Venezuela came from west, Benin, Togo, Ghana area. So I flew over to Nigeria backpacking on my own, and backpacked from Nigeria to Ghana through Benin and Togo.
Oh my goodness.
And visited castles, slave memorials, and just did a little bit of digging. This continent, as massive as it is, has pulls me all the time. And I wanted to explore a bit of the South. I had a friend from Johannesburg who invited me, and I came to Cape Town, where her and her husband were staying. And I've been here for 4 months, and I've written so many songs here. I feel so grounded here. I feel so connected. This is the land. This is the land.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to explore more. I want to travel more. I want to meet more of the fam.
Yeah. Oh, you think you'll come back?
I think I never left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say more about that.
This feels more home than I've ever been. And this is where I found the ultimate home, which is the home that I'm inhabiting. So by loving this land and by being grounded to this land, now I gained my appreciation for my body in a way that I hadn't before.
My goodness.
You know, I took my body for granted. I abused my body. I overate, I overdrank, I overworked, I overworried. All that stuff is damaging to the physical body. And this physical body is carrying our divine. We gotta protect it. We gotta polish it. You know how we polish our cars? The same way that we put all of this effort to get all these watches and stuff. No, we gotta talk like the tissue. It's not just what we put on top of it, you know?
Wow, Cesar, you know, that makes me think a couple of episodes ago, it might have been episode 2 with Derek Cohen, who is the founder of Haneptious Academy and also the founder of the DK Yoga Experience. And he was talking about how yoga basically saved his life. And at one point during the episode, we were talking about the sacredness of the body, right? And, you know, throwing no shade and no judgment because people are at different phases in their lives. But, you know, when people choose to share their body with multiple people, multiple men, women, whatever categories we recognize our bodies in and live in our bodies, the sharing though, of bodies in kind of sexual situations is really, you know, quite spiritual, right? So when you're sharing your body with someone, for me, and for Derek, we were saying that's a spiritual experience. And how cavalier are people? What's missing? I don't want to try to be judgmental. I'm trying not to use judgmental language, but what is the need? What are folks looking for when they're sharing their body, their spirit, this temple, just so cavalierly with multiple people?
For me, I think it was a disconnection with my body. So when you're not fully connected with it, you can abuse and disabuse it, and you can let other people to do the same because you don't have that intimate relationship with it. You know, like inhabiting my body is a very intimate experience. Inhabiting your body is the most intimate experience. And if we are not even aware of that intimacy and treat that relationship with the respect that we should have, then anything else is possible. And not only being with multiple partners, but also many other types of violences that we do against our bodies because we haven't developed that relationship.
But what if you're someone, I'm thinking of someone in particular, from the book,
yes,
that you're a bodybuilder, or you take care of your body, you're making sure that you're working out, you're eating right. You, for all intents and purposes on the outset, it shows that you do have a relationship with your body and you love your body,
right?
But you're still with multiple people. How is that reconciled, I wonder?
So I think there's a distinction between sort of seeing your body as a muscle that you can exercise and it does certain things, and then appreciating your body as the vessel that carries your divine.
Wow.
They're two different things, you know?
Oh.
Like, I'm realizing now that my body is so magical that it can grow, can do things if I exercise it enough, but that's not enough. Your body can do even more things once you integrate it with your divine experience, right? Your body as divine, your body as a temple, your body as worthy of your devotion.
Oh my goodness. Your body as worthy of your devotion. I'm sitting and I'm thinking also about conversations that I have with my best friend, Dr. Goldie Mohammed. And we're always talking about, well, yeah, you'll treat your body and yourself based on your relationship with God, right? Like if God is the center of your life, and she would say, if your hadith, your faith manifest as God is the center of your life, you will treat your body differently. And you just help to make a connection to those powerful conversations that we have had, and helping to distinguish for me the difference to caring for the body and taking care of your body, and understanding that your body holds the divine presence that is within. So I thank you for that illumination for me, and as a woman who loves God and wants to just always let that light shine more than anything else. I don't care about if you know my degrees or where I work or all of that. None of that matters if I'm not walking in my divine and I'm not loving and treating people in the way that they deserve to be treated as human beings. And it starts with the self. It starts with me and the way that I take care of this body, this shell. So you just gave me a word. You just gave me a word. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Ah, what else, Cesar? What else as I look at you and all of your beauty? You know, before we started this, and I want to say this publicly, just how beautiful you are glowing, your skin, your teeth, the perfection, the symmetricalness of your hair braiding, just, you know, looking at you in your eyes and having you sing. I'm feeling, I mean, we are on a computer screen, but I am feeling so much of your energy and your love and your peace. There's like a peace.
Yoli, oof. Okay, the goal is not to cry this episode.
Listen, I've been crying all these episodes, honey. Listen, don't depend on me for that because.
But can I tell you something? I think it has to do with me finally telling myself, you are beautiful.
Yeah.
I've never told myself you're beautiful. I've never told my hair that my hair is beautiful. In fact, my hair was always, I chopped my hair off because that's what I considered, or that's what I understood to be
The whiteness. That's the whiteness in all
that
of
was
it.
my consumption of whiteness, right? And the minute I said, I put whiteness aside and I start like touching my own hair, I'm like, shit, this hair is beautiful, right? Look at you get
the
your
crown, Mike.
Yoli. Look at those locks. And now I'm letting it happen, and it's so beautiful, you know. And I no longer accept the comments that I receive from my own family.
Yeah, because you know, we're colonized, Black folks, Afro-Latino folks. This whiteness has done it. Remember, as Dr. Angelo Costa tells us in the work that he does, this is 400 years of this dehumanization project. So we can't expect that it's going to be so easy, even in the generations of our family, to unlearn, undo, dismantle all of what whiteness has been inculcating into us for 4 centuries.
Yes.
So amen and ashe that we are doing the work now. Every step towards freeing of our minds will free our body every single day. It's a day to celebrate because liberation is in progress. It's a day to celebrate.
Amen. Amen.
Absolutely. Listen, Cesar, you're not going to believe this. It's actually like our time. Can you believe that we've already been talking for like 40 minutes? How crazy is that?
I could do this, Yoli, every day.
Listen, I'm with you. And we might have to have our private, you know, get our water and have our moments, time it, because you're in South Africa. I don't think you're coming back anytime soon. So I've got to set my clock in the schedule. But seriously, for us to, I would love to spend more time reading to you and have you singing to me and have us just talking about those songs and drinking water and just being with each other. But what I want to say, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I would love that. So I take that invitation and we'll connect.
We'll complement it with our early morning text because, you know, I wake up at like 5 in the morning. But in this last, I guess we call the segment, what I always ask the guests to do is to share anything that they want to say. Sometimes by way of your experiences to share with those who are listening in terms of relationship, romantic love, familial love. It could be anything. What's most important for me is that the guest has the last word. And so with that, Cesar, I would like to invite you to share whatever is on your heart, on your mind, to the listeners of Love from the Vortex.
And to the listeners, thank you for giving me this space to share. For the listeners, what I want to share is the following. We have the power to reshape how the rest of our lives unfold. especially Black people, people of color.
Yes.
We're magic, we're beautiful,
Yes.
and we need to protect that magic and that beauty by feeding ourselves the best food we can find, by feeding ourselves vegetables, by going plant-based. If you feel inclined, it'll change your life. It has changed my life. By incorporating a mindfulness practice that to help us deal with the 400 years of inequality that we've experienced. But we have the power to do that. We can do that in this lifetime if we decide to do it. And so my invitation to start the journey. It's a lifelong journey, but to start now, to start little by little, you know, incorporating 5 minutes of meditation into our days, cutting down our meat consumption a little bit, cutting down our alcohol consumption, cutting down on our cigarette usage, cutting down on the media that is not feeding us positivity, cut that shit out.
Yes.
And focusing on what makes us happy. Reading Toni Morrison, reading our ancestors, reading James Baldwin, reading all the beautiful art that exists created by people of color, by Black people.
Yes.
Consume that. Consume your beauty, consume your friends. We have the power to shift how our life unfolds. And my invitation is for us to do it because we can, and I hope that we do.
I love you. I love you. I am so grateful to Dr. Angelo Costa for inviting me to his wedding and his queens, Christine, Cesar was such a queen, inviting me to be with those special people in that room. And I want to also thank Brother Shamari.
Yes.
Your friendship and our friendship solidified who we are.
Amen.
And I love you. I'm so grateful for this time. And I want to thank you once again. And I want to thank those of you who are with us, who stayed with us, who listened. I hope you got a word. Thank you for falling into the vortex with Cesar and Yoli. And we'll see you next time.
I love you, sis. Thank you.
I love you too. Mwah.